Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I have swatches for you from the May release from the Don Deeva. There are, I think, 14 polishes in this release. So in the description box below, I will link the Don Deeva site, their Instagram page, their Facebook page, and my Instagram page. You can see more swatches of everything from this collection that is available now. I do also have a $20 Don Deeva gift card to give away for you. If you want to win that, all you have to do is leave a comment down below letting me know what you would spend the $20 on, which polish calls out to you the most. The giveaway will end on this day. Since I don't know what day this is going to be posted, I don't know what day the giveaway will end. It's on the screen. It will also be in the description. I will reply to your comment that you have won and ask you to send me an email, and you can retrieve the Deeva dollars that way. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get started. So first we have Taurus AF, and this is described as a gorgeous deep red maroon color that just says badass, and it's loaded with original unicorn pea and some hollow flakes. This one will be $17. So here's our first coat of Taurus AF. This has a really good formula. Don Deeva formulas are generally very, very easy to work with. I didn't have any kind of running, pooling, or staining. The shifty unicorn pea pigment that's in here stands out really nice. This is absolutely loaded with it. It does cover completely in 2 coats, and it will dry dull. Up next we have Emerald, and this is described as a mesmerizing jelly green base that's extra squishy with green shifty ultra crisp chameleon flakies and scattered hollow, and this one will be $13. Here's our first coat of Emerald. Now this one is more of a jelly base, so the base of it is sheer. You're going to get most of your coverage from these larger flakes. Formula is again very smooth and easy to work with. I'm going to show you what 3 coats looks like today. This is going to dry on the dull side, so you'll definitely want top coat to smooth things out, but nothing is going to dry super textured. Some of the larger flakes can dry with texture, and nothing's difficult to remove. Next up we have Queenie, and this is described as a delicate, squishy lavender base with various micro hexes running throughout. When this one is in the sun, it turns a blue polish. This is a solar, and it will be $13. Here's our first coat of Queenie, and this one is definitely on the sheer side. It does have a good formula though. I had no issues with running, pooling, or staining. The glitters that are in here don't come out in an abundance, but they are there. You can do fishing and holding your bottle upside down to get more, and they are easy to spread out. I'm showing you what 3 coats looks like today. You'll want top coat to smooth everything out because it dries textured and removal is difficult. And here's what it looks like in the sun. Next we have Raymond, and this is described as a gray-blue delicate corelli base loaded with various colored ultra chrome chameleon flakies that shift beautifully. This one will be $13. Here's our first coat of Raymond. Again, a very smooth, perfect, easy to work with formula. I love this kind of formula. I love this kind of polish. The flakes that are in here come out in an abundance, and they are easy to spread out across the nail. This takes 2 to 3 coats to build up to opacity. I'm going to show you 3 today just because I like the look of the extra layer of flakes, but depending on your preferences, 2 is probably fine, and removal is easy. Up next we have Muffy, and this is described as a black colorless thermal with various colored various glitters running throughout. This one will be $13. Here's our first coat of Muffy, and this is a thermal and it's changing as I'm painting it. Formula is very smooth, again, no problems with application on any of these whatsoever. The glitter that's in here does come out more than that's in Queenie, but it's still not an overload of them. As you build up each layer, you are going to build up the amount of glitter. This is going to dry with some serious texture, so you will want top coat for that reason, and removal is going to be more difficult. So here it is getting warmed up, and 3 coats. Up next we have Cottontail, and this is described as a red colorless thermal with various micro glitter hexes, flakies, and other additives. This one will be $13. Here's our first coat of Cottontail. I am going to show you 2 coats of this one today. If you're super picky, you might want to go in for 3, but it does go to a clear state when it's warm. So I didn't think, since it was totally opaque in 2 on the red, I didn't think it was necessary to do a 3rd. But again, this will dry textured and it will be difficult to remove. So there is 3 coats. Next up we have KK Slider, and this is described as a white squishy crelly that has pink, blue, violet, and gold shifty flakies and a scattered hollow and shimmer. This one will be $13. Here is our first coat of KK Slider. This is a very beautiful, very ethereal on the nails kind of polish, a smooth formula, not too thick or too thin. This one is going to take 3 coats generally to build up to opacity. If you're not picky, you might be able to get away with 2, but I like this best on 3. You can make out these copper flakes that are in here, and they are absolutely stunning, and baby is having lots to say today. You'll want top coat to bring some shine to this, so there is 3 coats. Up next we have Blathers, and this is described as a simple tan nude shade with loads of various mixes of glitter, and this will be $13. Here's our first coat of Blathers. This one is more on the sheer side, but it does have a great amount of glitter. This is probably my perfect amount of glitter in acrylic, and this is also my favorite size glitter. This is completely opaque in 3 coats. You're going to want top coat because it's going to dry textured, and removal is going to be difficult because everything in here is glitter. So there is 3 coats. Up next we have Ellis, and this is an orangish shade that turns a lovely terracotta and then a tangy peach. This also has a copper shimmer running throughout and a subtle scattered hollow. This one will be $13. Here's our first coat of Elvis. This does cover really well here on this first coat. I am going to show you what a second coat looks like today. Again, a very smooth formula, not difficult to work with whatsoever. Like I said, completely opaque in 2 coats. This will dry to a matte finish, so you want top coat for that reason, but nothing dries textured and nothing's difficult to remove. So there is 2 coats. Next up we have Broffina, and this is described as a brownish burnt orangey shade that shifts to a glorious purply green in its warm state. This is also loaded with a heavy green shimmer, and it'll be $13. Here's our first coat of Broffina, and this one covers also really well here on this first coat. I did want full opacity in the warm state, so I am going to show you what 2 coats looks like today. The shimmer that's in here stands out really nicely. This is going to dry dull, so you'll want top coat to smooth this out, but nothing's going to dry textured or be difficult to remove, and here it is transitioning. So that is 2 coats. Up next we have Orgasmique, and this is described as a beautiful thermal that's a deep blue to purple to mint green with loads of shifty flakes of violet, pink, green, gold, and copper. This one will be $13. Here's our first coat of Orgasmique, and this one is more on the sheer side. When you're working with these kind of iridescent ghost flakes, that does tend to be the case. But formula on this is also really good. As you build up each of these layers, these flakes really shine through, and it makes it look very 3-dimensional on the nail. This is going to dry slightly textured and definitely dull, so you will want top coat for that reason, and removal is going to be pretty easy on this one. And here is the transition in 3 coats. Up next we have Hex Appeal, and this is described as a gorgeous mint blue crelly with various hex micro glitters, and this one will be $12. Here's our first coat of Hex Appeal. This one has an okay amount of glitter. I was wanting some more, so I did hold my bottle upside down for just a few seconds in between swatches, and that did make a good difference. This does take 3 coats to build up to opacity. I had no issues with running, pooling, or staining. This one is going to dry textured because everything's glitter, and again, it will be difficult to remove because it's glitter. So there is 3 coats. Up next we have Bullhead, and this is described as a juicy cherry red shade with heavy shifts of original unicorn pea and the blue sister. This one will be $17. Here's our first coat of Bullhead. This one does cover pretty well on this first coat, considering the unicorn pea pigment that's in here is a more delicate element and that does tend to get lost in more opaque bases, but this is a 2-coater for me. This is going to dry decently glossy. I would recommend top coat just to bring it a complete finished look, so there is 2 coats. And lastly for today we have Misfit Malfunction, and this is described as a baby blue base in the prettiest icy shade loaded with original unicorn pea. This one will be $17. And here is Misfit Malfunction. This is a 3-coater. It's a cold thermal, so it changes with colder temperatures. I got it to change, but not long enough for a full swatch photo. So bear that in mind. That is my bad. Other people did just fine with this. This will dry dull, so you'll want top coat, but it's easy to remove. So there's 3 coats, and what I could catch you with the transition. I am a curly fiend, so I had an absurd amount of favorites this month. The first one being Hex Appeal. I really like the color base on this. This light baby sky blue is gorgeous. The glitter that are in here are so like contrasting, and they like shine out of the base really, really well, so I love that. I love Raymond. I love Raymond with a matte top coat. I love Raymond with a glossy top coat. I love Ultra Chameleon Flakies. I love gray polish, so I really, really love Raymond. A surprise for me was Orgasmic. I am not a thermal person. I don't love thermal polishes, especially like the more bold, shifty color ones. They just don't call to me as much, but this is so deep, so gorgeous. It's so like 3-dimensional on the nail. It's really, really pretty in all 3 states that it comes in, so love her. But I think my favorite has to be Blathers. You can't wear a polish for a week and not call it your favorite of the collection. I love the base color of this. Again, I love how contrasting the glitters are in this. It had a great formula. I think that Blathers is probably one of my favorite polishes that's come out so far this year. So these were my standouts for this month. And guys, that is it. Let me know in the comments below what you thought of these polishes. Let me know if you plan on picking any of them up, and let me know what your favorite was. Give this video a thumbs up if you liked it. Subscribe if you'd like to see more from me, and I will talk to you again next time.